All right, folks. Well, the Chooks, we roasted them after round one. Awful, had a cricket score put on them. But since then, biggest upset of our rugby league lives in round two.
$11 against the Riff.
Beating Panthers. And then last week, they went down to the Warriors, a really good Warriors side we spoke about already. We're looking at Chooks in terms of futures markets now, still being offered $2.60 for them to make the top 8 as of Tuesday morning. Are you on that?
I don't hate it, but I don't think I'd put my hard-earned on the Chookies at the moment.
You're in the doubters camp, hey?
Yeah, I just think that is there a lot of good teams at the moment? Mate, oh, God, actually, I don't know.
It's changed a lot. I think 3.5 weeks we've had a footy back for season 2025, and I think we've had to reevaluate a few teams. The Chooks, for me, they're going to be there or thereabouts by the end of the year. I think what they're doing with the pieced together team that they've got at the moment is evidence that once they get some cattle back in, particularly in attack, guys like Sam Walker, we know how important he is to their attacking system. So, yeah, I think there's great value in them. They're coming off a loss here against the Warriors at home last week, but the way that they're using Mark Nawaqanitawase at the moment.
Well said.
Thank you. Marky Mark we'll use from here on out. So impressed with him. From an athletic perspective, I think it's pretty clear to see that he's more than up to the task. He handled the physicality of the game playing on the Sting last year for a game or two, and then he's quickly become their go-to attacking player in good ball, which I've been really, really impressed with. The Sandon Smith's doing a very simple job. They're targeting the spaces between the 2 and the 3 in defenders, so the defending centre and the defending half. Usually you're trying to tie up the inside shoulder of the half, so that's the 3 in and the 4 in defenders. But the Chooks are playing a little bit wider. Sandon Smith's drifting across field or using Angus Crichton as like that wraparound option, and then just putting Marky Mark into one-on-one situations, and he's making really smart and really effective decisions out there. So I think he's just one example of, in 20 weeks' time, him and this whole Roosters side are going to be a lot better than what they are right now.
It really says a lot about a bloke like Mark Nawaqanitawase.
Hey!
When you're in a back line with Tedesco, Tupou, Dom Young, and
Robert Toyer at the moment.
Robert Toyer, who I don't mind. You've said
attacking, he's excellent. Yeah,
you've got those 4 big dogs, and if you're the focal point of the offense, I think that says a heap about how good Mark Nawaqanitawase is.
Wow, he's gone back for a
double
second
dip,
go
baby.
I think it bodes very well for Daniel Tupou as well, who has been a prolific try scorer for a very long time. Narrowly missed out on the top try scorer gong last year, but he's looking very good value there. So, yeah, I like what Easts are doing. They might be a bit of a slow burn for a little while, but if you're a Chookies fan, I'd be taking that value on them to play finals footy.
Well, let's chat about the Chookies against the Titans this weekend. Friday afternoon. Are you clearly with the Roosters then?
Yeah. Oh, geez, I don't know. I was really impressed with what the Titans did in round 3 as well, and we've only seen them play twice this year, so the sample size is still small. Awful in round 2. Quite impressive in round 3 defensively. They did the work off the ball to create those opportunities for Jaden Campbell in attack. I don't know if I want to touch the head-to-head markets here in this game, but I definitely want to put some money on Daniel Tupou to score, Mark Nawaqanitawase to score, and then for the Titans, Jaden Campbell and both for more, I think, have a very likeable combination already on that left edge.
It's just, I really hope the Titans do well this year. And it was something that you touched on in the pod that I didn't get to chime in on because I was rattled that Daly Cherry Evans had called us.
Our personal friend and friend of the show.
Maroon's captain called in to our show.
To say hello.
So, we're doing pretty well. Desi's turned their defence around.
He has.
I really like that he's focused on how they play defensively because a lot of their talent is just so based around improv and playing what's in front of them. So I think, you're going to get weeks where they're not firing on all cylinders, but then when they're on, my God, they are on. And
it's a brand of footy that has worked against the best defensive teams. I think I mentioned Parramatta have had a lot of success historically from moving the ball around and promoting second phase footy against a team like Penrith. Is that something that Titans are trying to do this year? Yeah, it's an interesting watch.
Yeah, certainly is. What I think is a more interesting watch this week is the Battle of Brisbane.
Yes.
I'm buying into the rivalry. It's early days, but the Finns, or Redcliffe as Brisbane keep calling them, it's our town. It's our house. It might be a home game for the Finns, but I'm hoping the Broncos put a cricket score on
I think I've got my Katoni's
home
home hat on.
And
you're wearing it too?
Shirt. Yeah,
nice.
I'm buying into it. It's our home.
I'm not buying into it because I don't think it's going to be much of a battle this weekend, bro. Brisbane looked really good. Really good in terms of when you've got a guy at Reece Walsh playing fullback, you're expecting a lot of points. You're expecting really silky, expansive attacking football. And I think Reece would be the first person to admit that his start to the year on the ball has not been, where he would like it to be.
100%.
One of the things that we love so much about a player like Reece is he's never afraid to throw the pass out the back of shape. He's just picking the wrong options right now for whatever reason. He's got different players running off him. He's got different players feeding him the ball from the inside. And he's also probably, I'm imagining, still thinking about that Joseph Suaalii hit, perhaps.
Well, and Taylor May too,
Yeah, true. I think for all of the negatives or areas where Reece still needs to improve this year, I've just noticed some little parts of his game that haven't been there in previous years. And to me, that's evidence that Michael Maguire's influence is already taking effect. His coaching is already taking effect on Reece's game. We saw at least 4 or 5 contested bombs that Reece put himself under. Really good early positioning. So doing the early work early to be in a good position to take the catch and then winning all 5 of those contests, whatever the number was. He was 100% under the high ball defensively, even in contested catches. He was also in a really good position to catch one that I think Selwyn might have bobbled on his own line. There was a couple of nice in-goal escapes as well. And then the 40-20 was slick that he kicked from in the first half.
40-10. Yeah. He hoofed that thing.
Absolutely monstered it. I think it's important to note where that ball landed was safely inside the field of play. He was going for the 40-20, but he was also happy for that to sit up in the corner and play field position. He got a great bounce and he got the result. And then later in the half, we saw a couple of times he swung down that short side, little chip over the top, and then led the kick chase. That shitty little 1%ers is what we call them. We didn't see Reece doing that when things weren't going his way in previous years, but we saw him on the weekend. The passes weren't going on. He said, stuff it, kick to corners, defence and positioning. So really encouraged by what Reece is doing. It won't be long before he's got a highlight reel moment.
Yeah, the foundation is clearly there. And those little effort plays that you mentioned, a lot of fans aren't picking up on. But it's great to give him his chocolates, where I think he's done really well this year.
Yeah, agreed.
Just got to get rid of some of those little turnovers. I think he had 7 negative plays.
Look, I think it's not going to happen for long. He's got the yips at the moment, but he's focusing on other things, which I think is more important. And the other important thing is this Broncos team doesn't need Reece to have 3 try assists in order for them to win each week. It's positive signs for me, and I think they are going to. It's going to be a long night for the Finns on Friday.
Fingers crossed. Should we talk about the Sharkies? It seems like a team we're talking a fair bit about this year.
Yeah, I've mentioned them a few times. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Braden Trindle.
Queensland's own.
Yeah, Tricky Trindle has already been mentioned by Billy Slater. There's a lot of talk in the media at the moment about Nico Hines, his role in their attack. Is he the primary playmaker? Can he be a primary playmaker? The ironic thing is, over the last 3 weeks, the Sharks' attack has looked as good as it has looked since Nico has been at the club, and that's when he's been playing, I'm not even going to say second fiddle, just a shared balanced role in the spine with Trindle. They're swinging both sides. Trindle will be first receiver on the left edge, and Hines sweeps late as a fullback. Then they're doing it on the right. Will Kennedy chimes in and complements both players really nicely. I've been really pleased with what I've seen from the Sharks attack this year. And I think all the rhetoric around Nico Hines is just, it's maddening. I don't understand it. I think they're priced short to beat the Bulldogs this weekend, but I think the price is fair.
You reckon? The Bulldogs, they seem really hard to get a read on this year, especially without Matty Burton.
And Kickow.
And Kickow. It's just 2 massive outs for those guys.
Particularly, we talked about Canterbury's attack not having as many strings to it as other teams, and Burton and Kickow are 2 of the most important strings in the Bulldogs attack. So we've seen them struggle to create points since both those guys went down. Their defence is still superb, but I think the Sharks should have too many points in them here.
I think you might be right. So, look, Neds have a new bet tracker at the moment.
Yep.
We might put a multi together for this weekend.
Yep.
So who do you like, or what do you like in the Roosters-Titans game?
Yeah, give me Mark Nawangani-Tawase to score any time, please.
Yep.
And then we'll go straight into Bronx 13+, into Cronulla 13+.
I like like that a lot. All right.
Let's go.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website